Hello, broadcasters. Welcome to episode 170 of the StreamYard Live Town Hall. My name is Geige, and I'm here with Dan, of course. Dan, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing well. It's good to be back here with all of you. For anyone new here, Dan and I are the founders of StreamYard, and we do these town halls every single Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific. We do them for a few reasons. One is to stay in tune with all of you, go through the same flow you guys do with your own shows. Two is to answer any of your questions. We love chatting about topics that you guys have top of mind. So feel free to leave those in the chat. We'll do our best to get to all of them. And then I always mention the three pillars of StreamYard, which are ease of use, stability, and professional streams. So if you have those three things, StreamYard is the tool for you. I see people hanging out from all over the place tonight. Very cool. We've got New York and Brazil and Florida, all over the place. Very, very cool. Before I forget, we have lots of awesome shows, and we actually have graphics now each week in the we'll share them here and then also in the StreamYard Facebook group just to know what's going on. If you're not part of that already, you can find it just on, you go to Facebook and just type in StreamYard official community. It should pop right up. It's a fun group. But yeah, the StreamYard shows we got the StreamYard Spotlight the second Thursday of every month at 8 p.m. Eastern, which is a show highlighting folks like you in the community and how they're having success with StreamYard. So if you're looking for inspiration, definitely catch that show. Or if you're interested in being featured yourself and sort of sharing what you've learned so far, reach out to Dana at contact@streamyard.com. We have YouTube channel reviews with Dee Niman and Daniel Batal the second Saturday of every month. Really great show if you're looking to grow on YouTube, whether it's live streaming or even outside of live streaming. They give you great actionable tips when it comes to things like how often to post videos, how to use things like types of thumbnails and titles and everything you'd want to know to have success with a YouTube channel. So definitely check that out. We have Enhance Your Live Streaming the last Tuesday of every month with Nick Niman, who's definitely a pro when it comes to live streaming and videos in general. So definitely check that out for specific live streaming tips. And then we have live stream reviews the first and third Saturday, noon PST with Christian and Charles. Fun show where they hang out reviewing folks' live streams and giving feedback. And one thing we're doing at the start of these town halls to get to know more about all of you and for you to get to know more about us is a fun fact. So feel free to answer it yourself. And the one we chose for this week was favorite thing you own. Which is the favorite thing that you own, Dan?
Cool. You want to go first on this one? I still got to think of one.
Fair enough. For me, it was pretty easy. The one that definitely stood out to me was my computer. I definitely have always been a huge fan of computers. So it's where I do all my work. It's where I get all my entertainment. I love my computers. Definitely
cool.
Been my favorite thing for a long time.
I was saying that's computers plural for you, definitely.
Yeah, I have a lot of computers.
Cool. I've always been a huge fan of sporting gear ever since I was a kid. So I would say like I have very nice hockey skates. Those might actually be the favorite thing I own. Or even like a home weight setup with a bunch like a squat rack and all that kind of stuff. I just love anything related to athletics. I'm a huge fan of. So I think that's probably it for me. We don't really own the most exciting things, do we?
No, not so much. But no, new equipment, old equipment. I definitely can appreciate that. I've always been like a fear of change when it comes to things like hockey equipment. So I definitely like my gloves and things like that.
Yeah.
All right. We got lots of questions here, so let's cover some of those before we get to some of the other topics we had for tonight. I guess congrats to you, Nairi. That's awesome. Your first live stream. Let us know. I hope it went well. That's fantastic.
That's awesome.
Let's see what else we had. Manny says, greetings to all the SY team from Mexico, 2 years and still loving this platform. You guys rock. Thanks so much, Manny. That's super kind of you. Mark says, why can we not use virtual backgrounds in Firefox? Would love it if you guys provided that. So you want to cover that one, Dan?
Yes, I do. So Firefox, as you probably know, every browser is slightly different. So there's always some limitations in different browsers that basically cause us to not be able to provide certain functionality. So in the case of virtual backgrounds and even the green screen effect, we've turned that off because there's enough issues with how we'd have to do it in Firefox that the experience is just not good enough for us to feel comfortable providing it. That said, Firefox is working on things continually. So I'm hoping quite soon we can actually provide that in Firefox. It's something we're kind of exploring again right now. So hopefully that can come. But yeah, just sometimes there's little browser issues and we don't we could get it to work kind of thing, but it's not something we'd be happy actually shipping to you. Like we never want to ship something just as a feature, just to get it out there. It always has to be kind of at this certain bar for us, and we would not feel comfortable if we had it right now. So hopefully soon, though.
Cool. Yep. What else do we have here? Quest of Oak Island says, Facebook, I've been getting a copyright issue with your 30-second countdown timer. I've been challenging it. Help. Definitely reach out to support Quest of Oak Island and continue challenging it. We definitely want to work with you to make sure that gets resolved. It doesn't happen very often, and it seems like it only impacts certain people's channels, but we want to make sure it gets fixed. Nad's Life says, I have a brand new monetized channel, but I still haven't used this because I can't figure it out. Well, if you could let us know, Nads, I'd be super curious what parts you find confusing, because ease of use, we definitely want to make things as easy as possible for you. So that'd be good to know. But we do have weekly webinars to help you get started. So if you're looking for someone to walk you through every aspect of that, definitely check out. I think I've got a link to it. If you go to StreamYard.com, yeah, here it is. If you go to StreamYard.com/webinar/getting started, we run those weekly and it walks through every aspect of the platform and even the new features. So if you went to one like a year ago and you're looking to get a refresher on some of the new stuff that's come out, it's really great for that. All right. Cool. Truth with Tom says, renewed my subscription. Let's have a great year. Awesome, Tom. Appreciate that.
Cool.
One of the topics we had for tonight that we wanted to get some feedback on was, we mentioned that we recently released that video clips progress indicator. So for those of you that go live every week, you probably caught it if you have an intro or use video clips, where it basically displays how much time is left on the video for you and your guests. And then it also has a little count up, I guess, on the video itself. Curious if that's ideal. If there's anything you'd like to see change with it, would be good for us to know.
Yeah. It's very subtle, so you may not have noticed it, but essentially, we showed it off last week, but it's a progress bar at the bottom when you're playing a video. And then also in the brand section where the video clip is, that's where Geige mentioned it'll actually show how much time is left. It's just a very subtle change, but nice to have, especially for guests. Sometimes you might have a 20-minute countdown, or 10-minute countdown or 5-minute countdown, just anything that's long, and they're not actually sure when it's going to end, and they're just sitting there very prepared. It's nice to know exactly when it's going to end.
Nairi's hooked after the first live stream. Happy to hear that. Nairi, glad it went well. That's awesome.
Cool.
I'm enjoying the favorite things people own. Some very cool ones. There's cars, tattoos. I'll have to go back and read all the fun ones.
Tattoos, that's a clever one. I like that.
Hey, Shannon, it's been a long time. I hope you're doing well. It's awesome to see you here. Shannon was actually the first one to start using the hashtag the yard. So awesome to have you here, Shannon. Mad says, I use the PowerPoint slides in a test, but they weren't showing up correctly. Support suggested I save it as a PDF, and that worked perfectly. Tip for others. Yes, PDF is definitely the safest way to go for now if you want to make sure everything looks exactly how you expect it to look. But we're constantly iterating and looking to improve it. So it's great that you reach out to support, because now we have a record to know what aspects weren't working properly with the PowerPoint slide. But yeah, if there's anything that doesn't work as expected with PowerPoints, definitely reach out, because we're always improving it.
Yep.
NLTMW's 3D printer fleet is the favorite. Yes, if you have a 3D printing channel, that would definitely be my guess. I've always wanted to get a 3D printer. Maybe if I actually owned one, it would be my favorite position.
I was going to say, they're so cool that even if you didn't have a channel specifically for that, it might be your favorite thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got to get one at some point. They seem like they'd be fun to play with.
Yeah.
Todd says, any updates on hotkeys for overlays and video clips? Any thoughts on that one, Dan?
Cool. So no updates yet, but still something that's very much on our mind.
Cool.
So hopefully soon.
Pre-game Blitz says, is there any way to send my live stream audio to my Discord channel? That's a cool question, Pre-game, that we've not actually gotten before in the past. So it's certainly possible. I don't know how easy it is to do. I'd have to look more into what Discord allows in terms of streaming into a channel. I think everything has to happen within Discord itself. So I think the only real way you could do it now would be to use something like a virtual audio device or something like that. And then so you'd essentially have to capture what's happening in StreamYard and then feed that into Discord to live stream your audio. So not an ideal solution, but I think that's the only way to do it now. Hopefully that changes if Discord ever offers the ability to stream into it we would certainly investigate supporting it as a destination.
Yep.
Mark says, any plans to release additional layouts? Yeah, we're definitely open to adding more layouts and giving more flexibility and customization when it comes to layouts in general, Mark. So stay tuned on that. Any other thoughts on that one, Dan?
Yeah, just a follow-up question, which is what type of layout? Is it just want a slight modification of something we already have? Do you want something completely different? What are you kind of looking for there? As a whole bunch of layouts, or is there just one really specific layout you want?
Cool. Rob says, I'm going to NAB. Who'll be there? I'd love to meet you all and show off my StreamYard tattoo. Yes, I love the tattoo you got, Rob. That's awesome. I don't think we'll actually be at NAB. We'll have to look into it and see how far it is. If it's a ways out, maybe we can look into attending. But yeah, that's a good conference. That actually was another thing we wanted to ask tonight. Is we've done lots of virtual events with StreamYard, but curious how many of you would actually be interested if we ever did a hybrid event and had an in-person component. How many of you would actually be interested in attending the in-person component, or if you prefer just doing sort of the virtual experience? Let us know. Would be cool to know.
Cool. I think it'd be fun. I'd love to meet some more of you guys in person.
Yeah, no, the conferences that we've been to where we weren't hosting the conference, but we were attendees. It was really cool to meet customers and folks in person and other people from the community. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Joe's a fan of the video clips progress. Awesome, Joe. Happy to hear that. If you have any other changes you'd like to see to it, definitely let us know. Tube Data Workshop says, are you guys still selling merchandise online? I'd love to get an SY hoodie. Yeah, we give them, we do give them away on these town halls if you want to try your chances. But if you just really want the hoodie and you don't want to bother trying to win each week, you can actually access it if you go to just the homepage of StreamYard. On the bottom, there's a footer that links to the StreamYard store. I think Dana's in the chat and can hopefully link it for you, but yeah.
Tristan just linked it.
Cool. Appreciate that, Tristan. All right. What else do we have here? Real Talk Sports says, hey guys, we keep getting a low weak internet strength warning, even if we move 10 feet within the router or plug in the Ethernet cable. Your thoughts? So one thing this could possibly be, Real Talk, is the that indicator, it should just relate to the internet. But if say you have a really old router or your computer is really struggling in general, it's essentially measuring how much of the information you're sending is actually getting to the destination. So even if you have a good internet connection, but your computer's struggling and all the packets aren't actually getting there, or you have an old router that's struggling, that warning could still could go off. So I would check to make sure you have all the programs you have closed out. Maybe try restarting the router. If it is a really old router, maybe consider getting a new router. But if you're getting that indicator and everything looks fine on the output, you're also fine. That way.
Yeah, usually it does mean at least something's getting dropped, like there's some sort of loss in the video signal. But yeah, if it looks good enough for you, then obviously that's okay. We don't usually show it though, unless there's quite a bit of data getting lost. So yeah, if there is a way to improve it, that'd be great. The most common cause I'd say, besides the actual internet itself, is computer. Like your computer just being too slow or struggling too hard with it. So yeah, anything you can do there is helpful. Even like things, for example, if you're screen sharing a PowerPoint slide, you can use the slide sharing feature potentially, depending what, if you need a video or something within there, and that can kind of reduce the load on your CPU. Things like green screen and virtual background add a bit of CPU usage. So if you don't need those, you can get rid of that. So there's some little things you can do, but faster computer ultimately helps a lot as well.
Awesome. All right, we have lots of other questions here. Clint was asking, would it be possible to add transitions for overlays so they don't pop up on screen like a fade or dissolve? Definitely open to that, Clint. It's something we're actively exploring, along with the layout question that came up earlier, is giving more flexibility there. So yeah, stay tuned on that one. Any other thoughts on transitions, Dan?
Yeah, I don't think so. Something we're interested in, as Geige said. There's definitely cases where you kind of want it to behave in different ways as well.
Cool. That brings me to one of the other things we wanted to ask tonight. which was what's the this generally comes up a lot in the questions, but it's not always the number one thing. So curious for the folks watching tonight, what's the number one thing that if you had to pick one as your top request that you wish StreamYard would add? I was curious about that. It's been a while since we asked that one. We have asked it before, but it's been probably, I don't know, half a year maybe. Yeah. All right. What else did we have?
We'll just keep that question for a while if we get a lot of comments.
Yeah, for sure. Jeff says, any way to toggle between shared screen tabs without having to click to change the screen button? So one way you could handle that, Jeff, is if you're comfortable with the tabs being part of what you're sharing, is you could just share the whole window. So if you're sharing the whole window, you can just, click between the tabs and that's going to show as part of the screen share. If you're just, choosing the share a tab option in the screen share pane, you have to stop sharing and reshare, unfortunately. But if you're hoping to share switching between the tabs, I'm assuming sharing the window is probably a good solution for that.
Yep.
All right. Country Acres Online says, need more free music, or let me know a quick and easy way to add my own. So we're working on addressing both of those, Country Acres. So we're going to add more sample tracks for people to use, but we're also planning on adding the ability to upload your own soundtracks.
Yep.
Let's see what else we had here. Sandy says, love this platform. I've tried lots of others and yours wins hands down. Awesome, Sandy. Happy to hear that. Also, I've been able to use Canvas slides with only one computer screen and put it in presenter mode. I figured out a way to do this with StreamYard screen sharing features. So I'm so appreciative how you allow the screen share. Cool, Sandy. That's awesome. I'm super happy that that's working well for you.
Very cool.
SLG Network says, is there a way to get more camera positionings or allow us to change them so we can move them?
More camera positioning. Do you think customizing the size of the camera on screen is what they're referring to?
Maybe let us know, SLG. But like we mentioned earlier with the layouts, we are plan on adding more layouts in general and more flexibility in terms of customizing them as well. But you can change the positions in the sense of I can just drag it in to the spot I was in. So you can rearrange positions that way. So maybe that's what you're looking for. Let us know.
Yep.
But if not, please clarify. Matt says, Mumsy says, I was in Zoom for a podcast and saw an option in the live that said try StreamYard, but I couldn't figure out in the short time I had. Is that a new destination now? So be curious what you saw, but Zoom is not a supported destination. Maybe they might have been doing something where they were recording the podcast in StreamYard and they were supporting basically the ability to be in StreamYard. And then they were also sort of manually streaming it in Zoom by capturing what was happening in StreamYard, but I'm just totally guessing. But Zoom is not at this moment a destination. Let's see. Let's see if there's anything in terms of the number one feature requests. Tube Data Workshop says, I'm using StreamYard to give a SQL database training during my live streams on my channel and also use it to show how I come up with hundreds of video topics for new YouTube channels using data. Awesome. I'll have to check out your channel, Tube Data. That's really cool. We use quite a bit of SQL at StreamYard.
No kidding. Yeah.
Shannon says, the music is cool. Can you add your own? Not yet, Shannon, but that is on the roadmap. It is being worked on.
Yep.
Sean says, finally started using the slides. Only downside is having to delete and re-upload if making last minute changes.
Yep.
That's a good piece of feedback, Sean. Does that still apply if you're with the Google Slides integration?
Yep. Yeah. Right now it does. Yeah.
Cool. Maybe we can make that easier in the future, Sean. For things outside the Google Slides integration, I imagine it'd be pretty difficult unless we had a whole.
Yeah, it's tricky.
Yeah, but we'll see. Who knows? Let's go. So with Joanne says, is there a way to have the host off screen temporarily with one guest on screen along with their slides? Not sure if there's a layout for this currently. Yeah, absolutely, Joanne. So all you have to do is remove yourself from the broadcast. So if you just click your little video tile at the bottom there, you can be essentially just like a producer that's not actually on screen with the guest on screen with their slides. That's totally doable. If it's not clear how to do that, or if you're having any trouble, feel free to just use the chat option and support can walk you through it. But you can just remove yourself essentially to accomplish that.
Yeah, and one thing to add is when you do that, it will take your audio out. So if you just take yourself off screen, your audio will also be removed. If you want to have it where your guest is by themselves, but you can still talk and you're just hidden, that's where you can actually, I mean, if you try it, you'll see that you're still on screen and it just shows an avatar if you turn your camera off. Right, so you turn your camera off, you'll still kind of be there. If you want to fully hide yourself, there's a setting called audio avatars you can turn off. And then when you turn your camera off, you'll be completely hidden. So that would allow you to keep talking in the background, even while your guest is the only one that's actually visible on screen. So it kind of just depends if you want to be heard, or if you want to be able to talk while they're on screen.
All right, let's see what else we had here. Black Utopia says, recorded with GoPro and video seems to be stuttering. Any advice? First thing I would check, Utopia, is the frame rate that you're capturing with the GoPro. Like ideally, it should be as close to the frame rate that you're ultimately streaming at. So if, again, I don't know exactly how much flexibility there is with what you capture on a GoPro, but if you're streaming in 720 on StreamYard, I would capture at 720 on the GoPro. And since it streams out at 29.97 or whatever it is FPS with StreamYard, try to capture at that frame rate on the GoPro as well. And I'd start there. If that doesn't help, I'd reach out to support and they can walk you through additional steps. Yeah,
and then internet is always the other one.
Yeah, it depends on what it looks like. If it's stuttering, that seems like camera. It's hard to explain the difference. But if it's blurry, if it's stuttering and it's not blurry, then that usually means it might be having to do with what you're capturing at. But if it's blurry, then it's likely an internet thing.
Yep.
Okay. Urban says, is there an easy way to share a simple photo without using Google Slides? So few ways to go about it, Urban. So one thing you could do is just upload the photo as an overlay. That's one way to accomplish it. I know some people do just want an easy way to add a bunch of pictures and walk through them. So we are outlining potential ways of doing that beyond the slide sharing functionality. So stay tuned on that. But the other alternative is to just upload it as an overlay.
Yep.
Should we go ahead and start queuing up the giveaway for tonight, Dan? While you do that,
we
I'll try to get to a couple more. So for anyone who hasn't been to one of these, we do a giveaway towards the end of the town halls. To be eligible, all you have to do is type in #theyard. So we'll give you a minute or so to get those in. And tonight we'll be giving away that sweater that Dan's wearing, that StreamYard sweater, and that pillow that he has in the background there. And this tool is also, sorry, go ahead, Dan.
So perfect.
And this the tool is also public. So that was one request for a long time was using the giveaway tool for people's own streams. So if you go to StreamYard.com/giveaway, you can actually screen share this and do your own giveaways just like we do. There's a little tutorial on how to use it. All right, we have some other cool feature requests here. Let's see some of them. Michael says, I would like to have 20 to 30 people be able to join after the live show is over. This is something we do for our membership. People can come in after the live event and meet our guests. It's a cool request, Michael. So sort of like a private live stream or private sort of discussion area. Yeah, definitely something we're open to. It's a cool request. Tony says bulk delete of content. So that should be a relatively easy one for us to add. That's interesting that it's the number one. It's good to know that it's that much of a pain point. So appreciate that, Tony. We don't.
Cool. And I assume that's like bulk deleting overlays. If you can just confirm that, Tony, or is it other things like banners or anything else?
Because we do have bulk delete of past recordings, right?
Recordings, correct. Yeah.
So yeah. Let us know, Tony. NLTMW says add granularity to teams to stop one from seeing other brands. Any thoughts on that one, Dan?
Interesting. Yeah, I get the use case. I guess no updates there yet, but good to know.
All right. I haven't been paying attention. Is the number
No, I think we're good.
gone up at all?
Oh, and then it just went up. Okay, so this is for a hoodie and a pillow, you said.
That's it. Yep.
Good luck, everyone.
Mark, congrats. Thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight. Dana will contact you on Facebook to get your shipping address and size and things like that. But yeah, congrats on your new pillow and StreamYard hoodie.
Awesome. Congrats, Mark.
All right, we have time for a few more questions here. Let's see what else we had. Jeff says, why don't you enable us to label the videos we share / upload? So we have added some labeling functionality, right, Dan? Like you can rename clips.
Sorry. Yes. In the brand tab, you can rename clips. At the bottom with the video sharing feature, you can't rename them yet. It just shows the person's name, mostly just because we wanted to make it obvious when your guest is sharing a video who is actually sharing that video. And there's only so much space there, so having like a guest name and the name of the file would be a lot. But we are thinking through how to, maybe kind of find the happy medium where we give you more information about what the video actually is and also who shared it.
Cool. But we don't have a good reason, Jeff. Like we plan on supporting that in the future, right, Dan?
Yeah, in some capacity, yeah.
All right, I got to sort through all the hashtag the yards here. What else do we have? Brian says, I want to be able to see / hear what my viewers see without having to record and replay to verify my stream. Yeah, Brian, like an easier way to test the output of your broadcast. That is something that our designers are exploring. The one thing that has made us hesitant to do it is like each destination is slightly different. So it's not a true test in the sense that we do want to make it better and to give a better sense of what is actually going out. So we are exploring that, but you do have to keep in mind that what we're displaying to you is ultimately not exactly what might be going to a platform. So the safest thing is to actually check on the destination platform, but we do want to make it more clear in terms of like what's the level of the audio and things like that. So we are exploring it.
Yep.
Jillian says, hey guys, thanks for all you do. Would like to share my screen with me on the right side instead of the left side? It's a fair request, Jillian. So that is sort of tied to the layout stuff that we mentioned before. We are open to adding more layouts and more customization options there. So watch out for that.
I'm also curious, Jillian, why you want to switch sides. Just out of curiosity, is it just you find it would look slightly better like that? Is it maybe there's some other unique reason? Just curious.
Awesome. Well, appreciate all the great requests here. We'll have to go back through and note them down. This was episode 170 of the StreamYard Live Town Hall. Get the banner or the overlay here. We'll see you guys next week at the same time. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Really appreciate all the questions.
Awesome. See you next week, everyone.